This video is about Odin unravels Rune's secrets in Valhalla, but Loki spins chaos. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. In the shimmering halls of Valhalla, where the scent of mead mingled with the echoes of battles long past, Odin, the All-Father, sat upon his throne, the Gungnir spear resting by his side. He gazed into the depths of the infinite cosmos, where stars twinkle like the eyes of ancient deities, each one a testament to the myriad stories of gods and mortals alike. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that danced across the gilded walls. The air crackled with an energy that hinted at the unease creeping through Asgard. Odin felt it in his bones, a whisper carried by the north wind. The runes of fate, once thought fully unraveled, still harbored secrets. Gathering the knowledge of the ages, he summoned the wisest of the Ainhjar, the fallen warriors who had proven their valor. They gathered, their armor glistening like the stars, but their expressions bore the weight of dread. "We stand on the precipice of a storm," Odin proclaimed, his voice resonating through the hall. "The runes have more to reveal, but darkness stirs, and treachery walks among us." As the warriors exchanged anxious glances, a ripple of unease swept through the assembly. Among them, a figure cloaked in shadows stepped forth, Loki, the trickster god, whose laughter could turn to poison in an instant. His emerald eyes sparkled with mischief, a stark contrast to the grave atmosphere. "What is this dread, All-Father?" Loki teased, his voice smooth like silk. "Have the runes revealed that your wisdom is lacking, or shall I spin a tale that will turn your frown into a jest?" Odin's gaze hardened, but a faint smirk tugged at his lips. "Your riddles do little to ease my concerns, Loki. There is a disturbance in the fabric of fate, a shadow that threatens to engulf not just Asgard, but all realms." Challenging the storm-eyed king, Loki feigned mock seriousness. "Perhaps fate needs a good twist. After all, chaos makes for more entertaining tales than your dusty tomes of wisdom." Odin's patience thinned. "This is no jest, Loki. Should you wish to thwart our enemies, your cunning may be required. Yet, tread carefully, for the balance of existence hangs by a thread." As the tension thickened, a thunderous crash echoed through the marble halls. The warriors instinctively reached for their weapons, hearts racing. The golden doors of Valhalla burst open, revealing Freya, the goddess of love and war, her face pale as the moonlight. "Odin, the frost giants approach. They seek vengeance for the last battle." In an instant, the atmosphere shifted from jest to urgency. Odin rose, his spirit ignited by the threat of war. "Gather your strength, my warriors. We shall not allow the giants to breach our sacred halls." With a swift gesture, Odin summoned the might of his ravens, Hugin and Munin, sending them forth to gather intelligence. The Ainhjar readied themselves, adrenaline surging through their veins as they donned their armor. Yet, as they prepared, Loki lingered, a sly grin creeping across his lips. He stepped closer to Odin, words dripping with cunning. "Why not let me handle this? A little chaos can turn the tide of any battle. Surely even giants can withstand a good ruse." Odin's eyes narrowed, studying the trickster. "Your games may prove dangerous, Loki. This is no time for your whims." "Bah, but it is precisely the time the giants underestimate the power of distraction. Allow me the chance to weave my web of chaos, and I promise you, the frost giants will be nothing but shadows in the wind." A flicker of hesitation crossed Odin's face, but the threat of the giants loomed greater than his reservations. "Very well, but know this, should your chaos lead to disaster, the weight of Asgard's wrath shall fall upon you." Loki nodded, a spark of excitement igniting within him. With a flourish, he vanished into thin air, leaving behind a faint scent of smoke and mischief. As the Ainhjar prepared for battle, Odin withdrew to the sacred rune sesh in the stone at the center of Valhalla. He needed to comprehend the whispers that had haunted him, the secrets hidden within the ancient symbols. Each rune pulsed with energy as he traced his fingers over them, seeking wisdom amidst the chaos that Loki had unleashed. Suddenly, the runes shimmered, revealing a vision of a dark figure draped in shadows, wielding a sword forged from the heart of Yggdrasil itself. The image flickered, prophecies entwining themselves around it like vines, their meaning veiled in obscurity. Furrowing his brow, Odin chanted the ancient incantations, calling upon the runes to unveil their truth. The air thickened with magic as echoes of voices from the past swelled around him. To grasp the secrets of fate, one must confront the chaos within, a disembodied voice murmured, sending chills down his spine. Amidst the whirlwind of memories and half-formed prophecies, the figures of the giants emerged, massive shadows that towered over the mountains, eyes alight with fury. And behind them, the looming dread of a greater force, whose allegiance remained uncertain. As the vision faded, Odin's resolve hardened. "Whatever lies ahead, I shall face it," he vowed, steel in his voice. We will prepare for battle, not just against the frost giants, but against the darkness that seeks to suffocate us. With newfound purpose, he summoned the Einherjar, their spirits ignited as they heeded the call of the All-Father. Warriors rallied, swords gleaming and shields raised, ready to defend their sacred home against the impending storm. But unbeknownst to them, Loki wove his own tapestry of chaos in the shadows. He reveled in the discord, setting his sights on the frost giants and plotting to create mischief that would bring them to their knees. As the giants advanced, emboldened by their numbers, Loki conjured illusions that danced around them, shadows of fear and confusion twisting beneath their heavy boots. Thunderous roars erupted from the giants, their rage ignited as they stumbled upon mirages of their own making. In the heart of the chaos, Odin stood resolute, the winds of destiny swirling around him. He felt the weight of the runes heavy in his mind, foretelling the struggles to come. "We are more than mere players in this game of fate," he declared to his warriors. "We are the architects of our destiny." The clash of steel on steel echoed through Valhalla as the frost giants met the Einherjar in a thunderous collision, the ground shaking beneath the weight of their wrath. Odin fought at the forefront, his spear gleaming, each strike a testament to his resolve. Yet amidst the battle, the shadows loomed larger. Loki's mischief spun dangerously close to the truth, and the giants were not the only ones stirred from their slumber. Monsters long forgotten began to awaken, drawn by the scent of chaos. As the frost giants fell, one warrior, a mighty Viking named Hallgjur, caught a glimpse of the dark figure from Odin's vision, a creature born of shadows and ancient fury, its eyes burning with malice. "Odin, we face not just giants, but the harbinger of ruin," he shouted, his voice barely rising above the din of combat. Odin's heart raced, fear mingling with determination. The battle was just beginning, and the fate of Asgard hung in the balance. The runes whispered secrets he must uncover, and the chaos spun by Loki threatened to engulf them all. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a crimson glow upon the battlefield, Odin knew that this was merely the beginning. Shadows loomed ever closer, and destiny awaited, a path fraught with peril and sacrifice. The swirling winds howled as the gods clashed with their foes, the churning tides of fate driven by honor, betrayal, and the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood. Little did they know, the greatest challenge lay not in their enemies, but in the hearts and minds of those who walked the fine line between chaos and order. With the battle raging and the hours stretching into an eternity, the saga of Odin and Loki, of honor and chaos, was only beginning to unfold. In the heart of Valhalla, the runes awaited their secrets to be revealed, and destiny spun its intricate web, leaving all who dared to tread upon it to face the consequences. As the sun slumbered beneath the horizon, bathing the battlefield in hues of crimson, the clash between Asgard's finest and the frost giants raged on. Odin, flanked by the fierce Einherjar, felt the pulse of the runes thrumming beneath his fingertips, urging him to decipher their ominous warnings. Each thrust of Gunnar sent ripples of death through the frozen giants, yet the All-Father's heart was heavy with foreboding. "Brothers, hold fast," thundered Hallgjur, rallying the Einherjar as they pushed against the weight of the monstrous giants. "They may be behemoths of ice, but our spirits blaze like the sun. For honor and glory, we strike." With every word, Hallgjur ignited flames of valor within the hearts of his comrades. The Einherjar surged forward, their swords gleaming under the waning light, each man a warrior of legend, forged in the fires of battle. Yet around them a tempest brewed, not just of ice and war, but of something far more sinister, a dark tide swelling at the edges of the battlefield, waiting to swallow their victories whole. At the periphery of the chaos, Loki relished the pandemonium he had birthed. His illusions danced like flickering flames among the giants, leading them into confusion. "Ah, sweet giants, you tread upon the stage I've set," he cackled, weaving his magic with a flourish. "Behold the folly of your might." Suddenly, he conjured images of the Einherjar running cowardly from their posts, mirages of fear that sent the giants into a frenzy. They swung their massive fists at shadows, their cries echoing across the battlefield. Yet even as they faltered, Loki's heart fluttered with uncertainty. The chaos spun dangerously close to the edge. Who truly controlled the threads of fate? Back within the fray, Odin's voice cut through the cacophony. "Einherjar, let not their sighs intimidate you. Remember your honor, and let the tales of your valor be sung through the ages." His words fueled their courage, igniting a fire that blazed brighter than the twilight skies. But amidst the clash, Hallgjur, ever vigilant, caught sight of the shattered figure that had haunted Odin's vision. "Odin," he bellowed, parrying a giantess strike with a deft twist of his sword. "The darkness you foresaw it approaches." With dread, Odin turned, his keen eyes narrowing in focus. Emerging from the depths of the shadows was a creature wreathed in darkness, its form shifting like smoke, eyes glowing with an insatiable hunger. "I am Varys, the harbinger of ruin," it hissed, the voice slithering into the ears of every warrior. "I have come for the souls of the fallen." As Varys stepped into the haunting glow of the battlefield, a chill swept through the ranks of the Ainhjar. The giants faltered, the very earth thick with dread. Odin raised Gungnir, its tip shimmering with the ethereal light of the runes. "You shall not have them, Varys, this day. Our honor shall triumph." With a battle cry that echoed through the ages, Odin surged towards the dark figure, every step a declaration of his resolve. But as he drew near, Varys laughed, a sound that reverberated like thunderclaps across the valley. "You cling to hope, All-Father, but your runes whisper of despair. They betray you." Odin felt the weight of Varys' words, the echoes of destiny thrumming in his chest. He thrust Gungnir forward, a spear of light striking true, yet Varys dissipated into shadows, reforming behind him with a sneer. "Foolish god, you cannot wield light against what dwells in the darkness." The clash of steel rang out as the giants renewed their assault, emboldened by the chaos swirling around them. Odin turned back to the battle, his warriors fighting for their lives, their spirits unyielding even as Varys loomed like a storm cloud overhead. "Do not falter," Odin roared. "Let your hearts be your shields, and honor your sword." With renewed fervor, the Ainhjar pressed onward, cutting through the frost giants like fire through ice. Haldir, fierce as a tempest, led the charge, rallying his comrades with every swing of his blade. Yet Varys' laughter pierced through the din, a haunting reminder of the darkness that loomed ever closer. Amidst the chaos, Loki, now shrouded in uncertainty, swirled through the shadows, observing each twist and turn of the battle. The illusions he had woven began to fray, his grip on chaos slipping. "What is this?" the giants falter. Yet darkness stirs, he whispered to himself, feeling the cold fingers of dread creeping into his mind. A sudden realization washed over him like ice water. "No, this chaos will not serve me. I must reclaim control." He darted toward the heart of the fray, weaving through the fighting Ainhjar, intent on spinning a new tale as the shadows gathered. "Warriors of Asgard!" Loki bellowed, his voice slicing through the clamor. "A moment of respite. Allow me to unravel the threads of darkness, to ensnare Varys within his own web." Odin glanced at Loki, suspicion dancing in his eyes. "Your words hold little meaning, trickster. Can you be trusted?" "Trust is a fleeting concept, dear All-Father, but I promise, let me lead the dance of chaos, and I will ensnare our foe." Loki's grin was sharp as blades, a mixture of charm and mischief. Odin hesitated, the battle raging around him, but the shadow of Varys loomed ever larger. "Very well, Loki, but if your machinations lead to ruin, I shall have your head." With a flick of his wrist, Loki conjured a swirling vortex of illusions, drawing Varys' attention with vivid images of lost souls and forsaken dreams. The dark creature's eyes narrowed, entranced by the mirage of despair. "You dare distract me, trickster?" Varys hissed, lunging towards the illusions. "Yes, and dance with your own demise." Loki cackled, weaving more chaos, filling the air with shimmering phantoms of fear, ghosts of the fallen, memories twisted into grotesque forms, drawing Varys into a whirlpool of confusion. Odin seized the moment, charging forward, Gungnir raised high. "Now, Ainhjar, strike while the shadows falter." In a whirlwind of steel and fury, the Ainhjar surged, the blades striking true against the frost giants, who were now dazed and caught off guard by Loki's deceit. Haldir, empowered by Odin's command, sliced through the giants, his sword singing songs of triumph and loss. Yet Varys, enraged, unleashed a wave of darkness, a tendril of shadow that lashed through the ranks, seeking to consume everything in its path. "You think to defeat me? I am the hunger that never sates." The tendril snaked towards Odin, but met a wall of light as he stood defiant. "You shall not take us this day," he declared, channeling the power of the runes. The air shimmered as he invoked their might, forcing Varys back with the brilliance of divine energy. But every push against Varys was met with resistance, the dark creature twisting into a shadowy form, barely discernible from the night. "You cannot win, All-Father, all 'tis end in tragedy." Just as despair threatened to seep into the hearts of the warriors, Haldir raised his voice above the chaos. "Together, for honor, for Asgard." His words ignited their spirits once more, the Ainhjar rallying around Odin, their hearts beating as one. With a synchronized battle cry, they surged forward, blades glistening, pushing against the tide of darkness. Loki, entangled in webs of his own creation, joined the fray, weaving magic to bind Varys, granting the Ainhjar precious moments to strike. "Now, strike true!" Odin roared, and with a command, The warriors unleashed their fury against the harbinger of ruin, their collective strength casting away the shadows that had threatened to engulf them. Gungnir, a spear of destiny, found its mark, not just against fairies, but against the very essence of chaos that threatened the balance of their world. Light and shadow clashed in a battle that would echo through eternity, each moment a heartbeat in the saga of gods and warriors. With each strike, the battle wove itself into a tapestry of valor and sacrifice, threads of fate intertwining. Yet in those threads lay sorrow, for honor demanded its price. As Varys roared in agony, Odin felt the weight of destiny upon him, a burden of choices, sacrifices, and the echoes of battles yet to come. Every warrior's heart beat for one purpose, but the shadows were not easily vanquished. In the heart of Valhalla, beneath the watchful gaze of the gods, the fate of Asgard lay upon the precipice, balanced between chaos and order. Loki's laughter rang out in defiance, a haunting note in the symphony of battle. And in that moment, Odin understood the chaos, and the clash of steel and the cries of warriors echoed through Valhalla, reverberating against its gilded walls as Odin, the All-Father, stood poised at the center of chaos. The air crackled with magic and fury, shaken by the relentless onslaught of frost giants and the encroaching shadows of Varys. The dark creature, now enraged, lashed out with tendrils of darkness, seeking to devour all that stood before it. "Hold the line!" Odin roared, his voice a beacon amidst the storm. He felt the pulse of the runes beneath his skin, a reminder of the destiny that had woven this moment into the fabric of time. The Einherjar rallied around him, their hearts aflame with the spirit of battle, the whispers of glory igniting their souls as they surged forward. Haldir, a warrior of unparalleled strength, fought with unmatched valor at Odin's side. His sword sang through the air as he cleaved a path through the massive forms of the frost giants. "We are the storm that shall shatter their might," he shouted, his voice filled with fierce determination. Each swing of his blade was a testament to the honor that coursed through his veins, the blood of warriors who had come before him. Yet, as the Einherjar fought valiantly, the darkness writhed, twisting and turning like a living beast. Varys' laughter echoed around them, a chilling reminder of the insatiable hunger that drove the creature forward. "You think you can defeat what has existed since before your gods drew breath? I am darkness incarnate." His words sent a ripple of fear through the ranks, but Odin's gaze hardened. "We are forged in the fires of destiny, and we shall not yield." He raised Gungnir high, the spear shimmering with an ethereal light that cut through the shadows. The runes speak of triumph through sacrifice. With every word, Odin invoked the power of the ancient symbols, drawing forth the hidden strength of his warriors. The runes began to glow brighter, illuminating the battlefield. For a moment, the swirling shadows of Varys paused, the creature momentarily blinded by the brilliance that emanated from the All-Father. "Now, my warriors, strike!" Odin commanded, and with that, the Einherjar roared as one, charging forward with renewed vigor. Their swords met the icy flesh of the giants, slashing through the frost, sending shards of ice cascading like shattered dreams. Loki, caught in the midst of his own chaotic machinations, felt the tide shifting. The illusions he had woven to distract the giants now spun dangerously close to entrapment, his grip on the chaos faltering. "Fates be damned, I must regain control," he muttered, weaving through the battle, his mind racing for a new ploy. With a flick of his wrist, he conjured a grand illusion of a magnificent dragon soaring above the battlefield, its wings casting shadows that momentarily engulfed the frost giants. "Look, the great worm of Asgard descends," he shouted, his voice imbued with mischief and urgency. The giants, distracted by the shimmering visage, turned in confusion, their rage momentarily dulled. But Varys, sensing the deception, unleashed a wave of darkness that swept over the battlefield, extinguishing the light of the dragon's illusion. "Your tricks will not save you. I will consume the light, the hope, and all that you hold dear." Odin's heart sank as he witnessed the shadows closing in around them, but he refused to succumb to despair. "Haldir," he called, his voice slicing through the chaos. "Lead the charge. We shall pierce the heart of this darkness together." With a fierce battle cry, Haldir rallied his comrades. "To glory and honor," he bellowed, charging toward the shadowy figure of Varys, his sword gleaming with the strength of his ancestors. The Einherjar surged behind him, a tidal wave of valor that crashed against the encroaching darkness. Odin stood resolute at the forefront, channeling the ancient runes into Gungnir. "By the power of the All-Father, I command the light," he declared, thrusting the spear forward. A brilliant beam erupted from Gungnir, slicing through the shadows, illuminating the battlefield in a radiant glow. Varys recoiled, the light searing through the tendrils of darkness. "You think your light can banish me? I shall exist beyond your comprehension," it hissed, coiling back as if struck by the divine energy. Yet the brilliance only fueled Odin's resolve. "Together, warriors of Asgard, we will pierce the shroud of despair." Odin shouted, urging them forward. The Einhajar rallied once more, their battle cries soaring to the heavens as they struck at the giants, the fury of their might unyielding. Haldir, fueled by Odin's fervor, charged past the falling giants, his blade cleaving through ice and flesh alike. For every fallen soul, for every dream forsaken, he roared, swinging his sword with unparalleled fury. Each strike was a testament to the shared history, to the bonds forged in the fires of battle. Yet Varys was relentless. It reformed, the shadows swirling around it like a tempest, and cast a tendril toward Haldir. You think yourselves heroes, but know this, every victory demands a sacrifice. It thundered, wrapping the darkness around Haldir's legs, pulling him down into the abyss. Enough, Odin shouted, heart pounding. He felt the pull of despair, the very essence of darkness striving to break their spirit. Haldir, fight, it cannot take you. With a fierce resolve, Haldir dug his heels into the ground, the tendrils of shadow tightening like a vice. I will not be consumed, he bellowed, summoning every ounce of strength, driving his sword deeper into the earth. For honor, for Asgard. Odin, sensing the battle teetering on the brink of destruction, raised Gungnir high once more. Hear me, forces of fate, we shall not falter, we stand as one against the darkness. The runes glowed with vitality, the air thickening with the weight of his command. In a moment of clarity, Loki, seeing the desperation in Odin's eyes, felt an unexpected twinge of loyalty. Perhaps this is where my chaos can truly serve, he whispered, a fierce grin spreading across his face. He gathered the remnants of his illusions, channeling them into a force that would bind Varys, ensnaring it within the threads of his own dark magic. Varys, you are not the master of chaos here, Loki shouted, throwing his hands forward as he conjured the shimmering illusions around the dark figure. Shadows twisted, binding Varys in ethereal chains, forcing it to falter, to question its own dominion. The moment hung in the balance, the air electric with tension as Odin seized the opportunity. Now, my warriors, strike true, he commanded, and with that, the Einhajar surged forward, their blades glistening like stars in the night. As they clashed against the dark creature, Odin's heart raced. The shadows writhed before him, yet the light of the runes pulsed with determination. For every soul we protect, for every dream we defend, he thundered, plunging Gungnir into the heart of the darkness. The spear struck true, the light exploding outward, illuminating the depths of despair. Varys screamed, its form unraveling, tendrils dissipating like mist in the dawn. This is not the end, shadows will always return, it howled, fading into the ether, leaving behind the remnants of chaos it had sown. The battlefield fell silent for a heartbeat, the Einhajar panting heavily, their breaths mingling with the fading echoes of battle. Victory hung in the air, yet a heavy cloak of sorrow draped over them as they surveyed the fallen giants and the shadows that had sought to consume them. Odin raised Gungnir once more, his voice resonating with authority. We have faced the depths of darkness and emerged. Today, we honor the souls that fought beside us, for they are the true spirits of Asgard. A solemn silence enveloped the warriors, their hearts heavy with the weight of the fallen. Haldir, still on his knees, raised his sword high, his voice strong. For those who stand with us in spirit, for the honor of our ancestors, we will remember. The Einhajar echoed his sentiments, their voices a chorus of defiance against despair. We will remember, we will honor. They stood united, a brotherhood forged through sacrifice, their hearts alight with the fire of survival. As dusk settled over Valhalla, casting a red hue upon the battlefield, Odin looked toward the horizon. The shadows will return, but we shall prepare, our destinies intertwine, and together we will forge a brighter path. Loki, watching from the sidelines, felt an unfamiliar warmth. Perhaps this chaos he had spun could weave into something greater. Ah, dear old father, he mused, a hint of laughter in his voice. It seems chaos can breed quite the camaraderie. Odin turned to him, a hint of a smile breaking the tension. Even in chaos, there lies a thread of unity, trickster. But tread carefully, this is not. As the echoes of the battle began to settle, Odin surveyed the aftermath of the fierce confrontation in Valhalla. The air, once thick with the clash of steel and the roars of battle, now carried a heavy silence, punctuated only by the weary breaths of the Einhajar. The frost giants lay sprawled upon the ground, their ice-encased forms a testament to the valor and strength of Asgard's defenders. Yet amidst the fallen, the shadows of despair lingered, whispering of the darkness that would inevitably return. Haldir, still kneeling and gripped by the aftermath of their struggle, felt the weight of victory and loss intertwined within him. For every brother we have lost today, he murmured, looking upon the battlefield with solemn determination. Their names shall echo through the halls of Valhalla, and their spirits shall guide us in the days to come. Odin nodded solemnly, the weight of leadership resting heavily on his shoulders. We shall honor them, Haldir. They are woven into the very fabric of our story. Their sacrifices give meaning to our fight. His voice resonated with the reverberations of the ancient runes, each word a promise of remembrance and honor that would be sung in the great halls. Yet in the shadows that clung to the corners of the battlefield, Loki lurked, a smirk playing on his lips. "Ah, my dear All-Father," he called, stepping forth from the twilight. "Such rousing speeches. Perhaps you should take up the bardess mantle instead of the spear." His emerald eyes glimmered with mischief, yet there was an underlying strain, a recognition of the chaos he had unleashed. "Your chaos nearly unraveled more than we could withstand, Loki," Odin replied, his tone a mixture of admonition and begrudging acceptance. "But perhaps today, amidst the wreckage, we witness the power of unity forged through chaos. You danced with shadows and brought forth light." With a flourish, Loki bowed mockingly, a grin stretching across his face. "Flattery, how charming, but might I suggest that next time you embrace chaos, perhaps we can do so with fewer casualties?" As the warriors began to gather, the honor of their victory resonating through their spirits, Odin called them forth. "Einherjar, gather and remember, we stand united as guardians of Asgard, defenders against the tide of darkness, but we must prepare, for shadows grow ever bold, and our enemies will not rest." The warriors had shed their armor of battle, but not their spirit of defiance. They formed a circle around Odin, their eyes reflecting the flickering light of torches that ignited as twilight deepened. Haldir stood tall, his voice ringing out with fervor. "We shall train harder, we shall sharpen our blades and steel our hearts. For every giant that falls, shadows will rise." A swell of agreement rose among the Einherjar, a chorus of voices echoing Haldir's sentiments. "We must not only defend, we must prepare to strike at the very heart of the chaos that threatens our realms." Yet amidst this fervor, Odin felt the pull of the runes, their whispers weaving through his thoughts. "There is more to this than mere preparation. The darkness we faced is but a herald of greater trials. A shadow greater than Varys lurks beyond our sight, one that threatens not just our eyes, but all round." Loki's ears perked up. "A mystery? I do enjoy a good riddle. Perhaps you will enlighten us, All-Father?" "Patience, trickster. The runes reveal a path fraught with peril," Odin asserted, pacing as he spoke. "We must delve deeper into their secrets. There lies a prophecy entwined with our face, a path that leads to the very heart of chaos." The air thickened with anticipation, a tension that coiled around the warriors as they listened intently. "We must undertake a quest to unravel these secrets," Odin continued, his voice resolute. "I will gather our mightiest warriors and seek the oracle of Erd, she who knows the threads of fate." Haldir stepped forward, the fire of determination igniting in his chest. "Then I shall join you, All-Father. I will not rest until we uncover the truths that lie hidden, I swear it." As the warriors prepared for their journey, Loki's mischievous grin faltered slightly. "And here I thought you'd want me to spin tales of glory rather than delve into the depths of destiny. What fun is there in that?" "Fun, Loki, is often but a prelude to calamity," Odin replied, casting a steady gaze upon the trickster. "But if you wish to join us, your cunning may yet be of use upon this treacherous path." "Ah, the lure of destiny is irresistible," Loki exclaimed, his enthusiasm returning. "Very well, let us weave this tale together. Shall we gather our supplies, or will we charge forth like fools into the unknown?" As preparations began, the warriors gathered provisions, their hearts alight with anticipation, yet weighed with the knowledge of the trials to come. Haldir, ever vigilant, sharpened his sword while exchanging glances with his brothers. "We all face whatever darkness lies ahead. Together, we shall brave the shadows." Hours later, the sun began its ascent, casting a golden hue across the landscape. Odin, flanked by Haldir and Loki, led the band of warriors out of Valhalla, the sacred halls receding behind them as they ventured into the unknown. Each step echoed with purpose, their hearts beating in harmony, a symphony of valor and resolve. As they journeyed into the wilds, the landscape transformed around them, forests thick with ancient trees, mountains looming like sentinels, and rivers that ran with whispers of forgotten tales. The air shimmered with magic, vibrant and alive, yet thick with an undercurrent of foreboding that echoed the whispers of the runes. Days turned into weeks as they traversed treacherous paths, facing creatures of darkness that emerged from the shadows, drawn toward the chaos that Loki had once spun. Yet with every battle, they forged an unbreakable bond of camaraderie, their spirits intertwining like threads of fate. One fateful evening, as dusk settled over the horizon, the band halted near the shores of the Lake of Erd, where the oracle awaited them. The water glistened under the moonlight, reflecting the stars that twinkled like the eyes of ancient gods. Odin felt the pull of the runes, an urgency to seek the truth as they approached the sacred site. "Prepare yourselves," Odin commanded, his voice steady yet laced with anticipation. The oracle holds the knowledge we seek, but do not approach without reverence. She is a guardian of fate. Aldir tightened his grip on his sword, the weight of responsibility heavy upon him. Together, we will honor her wisdom. Whatever truth awaits us, we stand united. As they approached the shimmering waters, the surface rippled, and from its depths emerged the oracle of Erd, her form ethereal, radiating an aura of ancient power. Odin, All-Father, come forth, she beckoned, her voice echoing like the wind through the trees. You seek the secrets of fate, yet know that with knowledge comes great sacrifice. Odin stepped forward, his heart steady. Great Oracle, we seek to unravel the darkness that threatens our realms. Guide us, and we shall bear the burden of truth. The Oracle regarded him with piercing eyes, the weight of ages reflected within them. The path you tread is fraught with peril, but your hearts are strong. The darkness you faced is but a fragment of a greater shadow, the essence of chaos that seeks to consume all. A chill ran through the warriors as they listened, the gravity of her words sinking deep. To uncover the roots of this chaos, the Oracle continued, you must seek the well of Mimir, where the ancient wisdom flows. Only there can you confront the heart of darkness and emerge with the knowledge to combat it. Then our journey will lead us to the well, Odin affirmed, a flicker of resolve igniting within him. But what must we sacrifice to obtain this knowledge? The Oracle's gaze softened, her voice a low whisper. To uncover the truth, you must be willing to lose that which you hold dear. Only through sacrifice can the bonds of destiny be reshaped. A silence lingered among the warriors, each contemplating the weight of the Oracle's words. Haldir felt the air grow heavy with unspoken fears, the notion of sacrifice weaving a thread of uncertainty through their hearts. We be prepared to face whatever fate demands, he declared, standing tall. Then go forth, champions of Asgard, the Oracle commanded, her voice a melodic echo. Seek the well of Mimir, but tread carefully, for the shadows lie in wait, ever hungry. With a nod of gratitude, Odin turned to his warriors. We shall not falter. Together, we will rise against the darkness that seeks to consume us. It is time to embrace the trials that destiny has set before us. As they embarked on their new quest, the winds howled round them, a harbinger of the challenges yet to come. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision, but with each step,